everybody, welcome to my postnatal balancing flow. I'm really happy that you tuned in today and that we're going to practice some yoga together. My name is Ilke from My Personal Yogi in Frankfurt, Germany, and I'm just going to show you a couple of exercises which you can practice after you had your baby and want to get reconnected to your core to find your stability, your inner strength, and your balance. So please start by sitting in a cross-legged position. Distribute your weight evenly on your sitting bones and just bring your hands onto your navel and take a couple of deep, long in and exhales. Inhale through the nose and exhale out the nose. Getting connected to your breath, acquainted with your breath, and letting the inhales and the exhales be about the same length. So you can count in your head, count to 4 maybe when you're inhaling, and then exhale on the count of 4. Couple more in and exhales. And then you can open your eyes and come onto all fours. Make sure that you distribute your weight evenly between hands and knees, side and side and side, right side, left side. And then you can start by coming into cow pose. Let your lower back sink down, lift your heart and your gaze gently forward and up. And on your exhale, round through the spine into cat pose. Draw the navel in firmly to warm up your core. Inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. One more. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. And then come into a neutral spine. Bring your right leg out behind you and then lift it from a neutral pelvis without opening your pelvis. Keep it turned towards the floor. And then bring your left hand out in front of you in a cross balance. Find your stability. Stretch back through the heel. Reach forward through the fingertips. And then release, hand and knee back to the floor, switch sides. Bring your left foot out behind you, lift the leg up on an inhale. And then bring the right arm out in front of you, finding your balance. And then release, hands and knee to the floor. Inhale deeply here. And on your exhale, slow-mo yourself into downward facing dog by lifting the knees off the floor, really slowly lifting the hips up, and then straightening your legs, sending your heels into the ground. Inhale, lift your heels up high. And exhale slowly with control, staying lifted at center. Bring your knees back down to the floor. Once you've reached the floor, bring the right leg back out behind you, lift it up. Lift the leg up and then bend at the knee. Bring your left arm out in front of you and either stay here or grab your back foot. If you grab your back foot, start pushing your foot into your hand. Lift the leg up high, open your heart and your chest, and balance this pose. And then release. hand and knee back to the floor, switch sides. Bring the left leg out behind you, lift the leg, bend the knee, and then bring the opposite arm out in front, or grab the back foot and immediately push your foot into your hand and pull with your hand so that you find a good stability. If you just let your heel sag, your knee drop down, it's going to be harder to balance. So you need this opening, this pushing back, and then release. Come back onto all fours, and once more, bring the right leg out behind you. And then flip your foot to bring the pinky toe edge of your foot parallel to the back of your mat. Inhale, lift the right arm to the ceiling, and then bring the arm alongside your ear so you're in a long and diagonal line from your pinky toe all the way to your pinky finger. If you want to stay here, you can stay here if this is enough of a challenge for your balance. If you want to go further, inhale deeply, fill your navel, and exhale, draw the navel in, and from this power, from this strength, lift your back foot off the floor just a tiny little bit, not all the way so that the foot comes in line with your hip, but you stay in this diagonal line, in this powerful line. And then release, foot, hand, knee back to the floor, switch sides. Bring the left leg out behind you, flip the foot, inhale, the left arm to the ceiling, and then bring your arm into the diagonal line, stretching out long through the fingertips, pushing into the ground with your foot. And then if you're ready, you can inhale deeply, exhale, draw the navel in and lift the foot off the floor. Keep it flexed very strongly and stay and breathe. And then bring the foot back down, hand and knee to the floor. Inhale here. And exhale once. And then please grab one of your blocks and place it in between your thighs. And then come back onto all fours. Inhale here deeply. Exhale, start by pressing the block. Draw the pelvic floor muscles in and up. Lift your hips and come back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale, press the block. Pelvic floor muscles are working, navel in and up. And bring your knees back down to the floor really slowly. Again, inhale here. Release some of the tension. Exhale, press the block. Navel in and up. Slow-mo into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels. And exhale, slowly come back down. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. One deep inhale here. And exhale, walk your hands back towards your feet for the reverse sun salutations. Inhale into flat back. And exhale, deep forward bend. Inhale, slight bend in the knees. And exhale, roll up to stand. Inhale, bring your arms above your head. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lift your arms above your head. And exhale, deep forward bend. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, deep forward bend. Inhale, walk your hands forward. And exhale, push back into downward facing dog. Inhale here. And exhale, walk your hands back again. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, deep forward bend. Bend your knees slightly, inhale. And from your feet pressing down, roll and rise. Inhale, your arms above your head. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lift your arms above your head. And exhale, deep forward bend. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, deep forward bend. Inhale, walk your hands forward and then go back into your downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale here and exhale, walk your hands back. Inhale to flat back and exhale, deep forward bend. Bend your knees on an inhale and exhale, roll up to stand. Inhale, lift your arms above your head, hands to heart on an exhale. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, deep forward bend. Inhale to flat back. Deep forward bend, exhale. Inhale, walk your hands forward. And exhale, downward facing dog. And then you can remove the block for now. From your downward facing dog, inhale, lift your right leg up to the ceiling. Push through your heel or the ball of your foot, your choice. And then if you want to take it a little bit further, you can bring your weight into the right hand and lift the left hand just off the mat. You want to make sure that you don't have your hand way out to the left, but keep it in line with your side body. Push forward through the hand, up through the foot, and release. Switch sides, left leg comes up, push back, and if you want to challenge yourself, whoops, here you go. If you want to challenge yourself, you can balance the pose and lift your right hand off the floor as well. And then come back into downward facing dog. Gently bend your knees on an exhale, lift your gaze to your hands, and exhale, walk your feet forward. Deep forward bend. Inhale into flat back. And deep forward bend. Please grab your block again, place it in between your thighs. Open your feet about the same distance as the block is. And then bend your knees deeply for chair pose. You want to keep squeezing the block for extra inner thigh and pelvic floor muscle activation. Inhale deeply here and exhale, roll your spine up to chair pose. Inhale your arms above your head and then exhale your hands to your heart. I'm just going to turn so you can see me more easily. Keep pressing the block while you're sitting down nice and low, and then bring your weight into the right foot, lift the left foot off the floor, and balance the pose. And you're going to notice that you're swaying and moving, and that's okay. You don't have to be super still in your balancing poses. It's actually good to be swaying a bit because that means that the deep muscles that are stabilizing you from the inside out are working and are getting toned and strong, so don't worry about wobbling. Switch sides. Bring the left foot down, weight into the left foot, lift the right foot up, but stay nice and low. Sit in your chair pose, squeeze the block, and breathe. Bring the foot to the floor. Inhale, straighten your legs, arms above your head. And exhale, hands to heart. And then please remove the block for now. Come to stand at the front of your mat. Distribute the weight evenly between both feet, finding balance in your standing position. Inhale, lift your arms above your head. Exhale, flow into your deep forward bend. Inhale, come into flat back. And exhale, place your hands down, bring the right foot back into a big lunge. Inhale, bend the back knee. And exhale, from the feet pressing down, roll up into warrior one variation. Inhale your arms above your head. And then stay here, find your pose. You can keep the back knee slightly bent to help lift the pelvis. Front knee is bent, spine is nice and long. And if you want to go a bit further, you can lift the front heel up and balance the pose on the balls of your feet. Very strengthening activation through the deep core line, which starts in your feet. And then bring the heel back down to the floor, hands to the floor. Inhale, come back into flat back. And exhale, hands to floor, right left foot back. Bend the left knee on an inhale, and exhale, roll all the way up. Inhale, lift your arms above your head. Find warrior one. And if you want to go further, lift the heel up. And then release, heel to the floor, hands to the floor. Inhale, step forward into flat back. Deep forward bend on your exhale. Bend the knees on your inhale. Roll up to stand on your exhale. Inhale your arms above your head. And exhale, hands to heart. And then please grab your blocks. Place them on your mat in front of you, about shoulder distance apart, and then come back to stand. Inhale your arms above your head. Exhale to deep forward bend. Place your hands on the blocks. You can choose the position of your blocks, whatever's best for you, whatever feels best. And then please bend your knees slightly and bring your right leg out behind you like you did in the beginning in the cross balance. You want to push back through the heel. Have a nice long flat back, straight back, strong back. If you want to stay here, stay here. If you want to go further, inhale deeply, fill your belly, and on your exhale, suck the navel in, suck your lower ribs in, release your hands from the block, bring your hands to heart and balance in warrior three. And again, you want to have a fluid, very nice and smooth balance, not stiff. And you can release your hands back to the block, foot to the floor, hang in your forward bend for a moment. Maybe sway from side to side. And then come back, hands on the block. Flat back, slight bend in the knees to make it easier to bring the left foot out behind you. Stay here if you want to, if you're still building strength. Inhale deeply. And exhale, draw the navel in, lower ribs come in. Lift your torso up a bit and come into warrior three. And don't worry if you're not parallel to the floor. You can be in a position like this with your torso a little bit higher, the leg a little bit lower. Just make sure you're not dropping your torso and your leg, but that you're always in one line. And then you can adjust to whatever feels good for your body. And then release the pose, hands to the blocks, foot to the floor, hanging your forward bend for a moment. And then bend your knees on an inhale, roll up to stand on your exhale. Inhale your arms above your head and hands to heart. Exhale. For Godasana, eagle pose, please come into an upright standing position, feet about hip distance apart. And then bring a slight bend into your knees. Shift your weight over to the right. And then cross your left thigh over top the right thigh. You can either bring the foot onto the floor, keep it up in the air, or wind it around your standing leg. And then bring your arms out in front of you, right arm over top the left, and then bind your forearms as well. If that doesn't work, just hug yourself. And you want to inhale, lift your forearms, fingertips to ceiling. Exhale, sit down low in your pose. Inhale, forward and up, and exhale, sit low. Squeeze your inner thighs as if you wanted to hold a dollar bill. And sit down nice and low. Don't forget to smile. And then release the pose. Come back to stand, maybe shake your standing leg. And then find some buoyancy in your stance. Slight bend in the legs. Weight shifts over to the left. Cross your right leg over top and choose your foot position. And then find your arm position. Left arm crosses over. The forearms bind. Palms touch. Inhale. Lift your fingertips and exhale. Sit down low in eagle pose. And then slowly release the pose. Come back to stand. And then please shift your weight over to the right again and come into tree pose by either placing the left foot, on your calf, or on your inner thigh. Just make sure that you're not on your knee because your knee is a sensitive joint and you don't want to push into it from the side. Stay nice and lifted from your foot all the way to the crown of your head. Foot is pushing into the thigh, thigh is pushing into the foot, hands are pressing. Find your flowing balance, which allows you to swerve obstacles in your way. Whoa, just like that. So you might sway a bit, might move around a bit, but you're not falling over. And even if you are, just go back into the balance. And then please release the tension between foot and leg. Bring the knee forward, inhale. Grow long through your spine. And then exhale, push your heel, your left heel, underneath your body, back behind you and come back into warrior three for a couple of breaths. And then slowly, without bringing left foot to the floor, come back up to stand. Hug the knee to your chest one time. And release. Foot to the floor, switch sides. Move your weight over to the left. Come into your tree pose. Hands to heart. And then release the tension, turn the knee forward, inhale, grow long, and exhale, push the foot back behind you into warrior three. Slowly come back up to stand, bring the knee into your chest right away, and then place the foot on the floor. Good, we're going to do one more standing balance. Please come into a standing position, feet hip distance apart. Bring your weight into the right foot again. Grab your left foot. You want to make sure that the knees stay in line, that the bent leg doesn't creep forward or out. And then you can stay here if this is challenging enough. Grow long, open your heart. If you want to go further, inhale, lift your arm above your head, the right one. And on your exhale, push your left foot into your hand like you did in the beginning. Bring your torso forward and down, lift the back foot up. And this is easier if you're actually pushing into your hand and pulling with your hand. This is going to give you the stability and the strength that you need for a dancer. And then slowly release, come back up, and switch sides. Grab a hold of your right foot, stay here if you want to, or inhale the left arm up, exhale, push with your foot, push into your hand, lower your torso, lift and open your heart while you're reaching back through your foot into your hand. And then slowly release the pose. And come to stand at the front of your mat. Inhale your arms above your head. And exhale, deep forward bend. Inhale into flat back. And exhale, hands to floor, step back into downward facing dog. Bring your knees to the floor, and then push back into child's pose. In child's pose, allow yourself to let your breath become even again, even inhales, even exhales. Finding a moment of softness, of releasing. And then please come back up onto all fours and bring your weight forward a little bit so that your shoulders are still in line with your wrists, but your knees are a bit behind your hip joints. Lift your feet off the floor so that you're balancing on hands and knees, or not exactly balancing at this point, but you will be. So flip your legs over to the left so that they come behind you, and lift your right arm up to the ceiling for a mini Vashisthasana side plank variation. Keep your lower waist drawing up into the top waist. If you want to make it more challenging, bring one leg out long. If you want to make it even more challenging, bring the second leg out long. And stay here in Vashisthasana. Balance the pose on one hand on your feet, which are pressing down to lift you up. And then bring the hand back to the floor, knees back to the floor, and switch sides. From your starting position, with your knees way behind your hip joints, lift the feet off the floor. Drop your feet behind you to the right. Lift the left arm up. Create height in your lower waist. And if you want to stretch the top leg long, you can do so. If you want to stretch the bottom leg long, you can do so too. And then release the pose. Come back into plank. Knees to the floor. You can push back into child for a brief moment. And then come up into a sitting position. Bring your hips onto the floor, stretch your legs out in front of you. And then bring your right leg to the inside of your left thigh, sort of like we did in tree pose for Janu-Shasana head to knee pose. But this time we're going to go into the yin variation, which means you can relax your legs, no tension, no activation, and then round forward through your spine. Let your head and your neck hang. If that's uncomfortable, you can always take a block and place your forehead on the block, or 2 blocks if needed. And allow yourself to hang passively in the pose. We just did a lot of activating, of toning, of intense heating exercises, which is good to build strength, but to be truly balanced, you also need this moment of doing nothing, of being passive, of nourishing the quiet, feminine yin side of you. Being a mother myself, I know that these passive moments in which you can recharge and restore have become rare. So enjoy this moment of just hanging here, releasing a moment just to yourself. Undisturbed, to help your body and your mind get back into balance. Slowly come back up to sit. And switch sides. Bring both legs out in front of you and then draw the left foot, sole of your foot to the inner thigh. Relax your legs and bow forward from a rounded spine, which is one of the main characteristics of the yin yoga practice. Another characteristic is that the poses are held for longer amounts of time to work into the fascia and the deeper levels of your body and not to target the muscles, to help you open, release, and find balance on all levels. You're probably going to notice that after a while in the pose, your body starts to open and release, and you can sink deeper. Please resist the urge to pull yourself into the pose, but just let gravity do the work. And you can slowly work your way up to sit. Bring both legs forward for a moment, and then you can find a way onto your back. Keep your blocks close. And once you're on your back, you can place your feet flat on the mat and cross your right leg over top the left leg, and then bring both legs to your chest. You can hug your legs around the shin and just start to roll from side to side. Or if you want to go a bit deeper, grab the pinky toe edges of your feet, and then you can start to move the feet away from your hips. And the more you open them, the more you're going to feel a stretch on the outside of the top leg. And you can also, if you want to, sway from side to side here to find the best, deepest opening for you. And then stay there for a moment. Enjoy. Let the breath flow. Release the pose, unwind your legs, bring the feet back onto the floor, and switch sides. Cross the left leg over top the right leg, bring your legs to your chest, and if you want to grab your feet, feel free to do so. Adjust the pose to your body, not your body to the pose. And then you can release. Stretch out for a moment if you want to. And then place the feet on the mat for one last pose. Lift your hips off the floor and place the block underneath your sacrum. You can choose the height of the block. It can be flat or in the middle height or as high as it goes, whatever is comfortable for you. And whatever gives you a chance to fully let go. You can touch your knees, open the feet a bit. If you want to bring your hands to your core, you can do so. Let the breath flow into your navel and lift your hands up. And on the exhale, let gravity draw your navel down towards the floor. As a mom, it's important to find your balance, especially after you've been pregnant, when your belly grows and your center of gravity and your stability change. And then afterwards, when your body is trying to find its new self, its new balance, being a mom is a wonderful thing, but it can happen from time to time that our balance is challenged with everything that we encounter, with the demands of our everyday life. And in order to not lose our balance, to be energized, to be strong from the inside out, it's important to listen to the signals of our body. And these yoga poses are a wonderful opportunity to get connected to yourself, to listen into your body, to find out what you need in order to be balanced and to recharge, to have energy, which you can then give to your loved ones, your kids, your partners, your friends, without burning up yourself, without exhausting all your energies, but being in harmony and in balance yourself. And then please lift your hips off the block, remove the block to the side, lower down onto your back. And bring the knees into your chest once more, and then stretch your legs out in front of you for Shavasana. Stretch them long on the mat. Let your feet drop open to the sides. Palms turned up to the ceiling. Place your head in a neutral position. And then just stay here for a couple of moments and give your body a chance to balance and harmonize your energies, to integrate everything that you just learned in your practice, which you just exercised. Allow your body to sink into the floor heavily. Let it become heavy, soft. Release all the tension that you still feel, what you're still holding. Allow your body and your mind to heal and find their balance in Shavasana. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can stretch your arms out overhead. Reach long to the sides of your body, and then roll over onto your side, whichever side you prefer. And in your own time, work your way up into a sitting position. Make little fists with your hands. Cross your forearms over your lower abdomen. Exhale, bow forward, and seal your practice to take this balance which you practiced on the yoga mat, off the mat and into your everyday life. Come back up to sit. Bring your hands to heart. Thanks a lot for joining me here today. I hope you feel good after balancing with me today. And please feel free to write a comment if you would like a special postnatal yoga sequence. I'm always happy for input, and if you know somebody who might like this video, feel free to share. You can subscribe to my channel, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot. Namaste.